Hello everybody, and you are watching the Chrissy B Show. So I'm going to let you know what we're going to be having on the show today. We'll be speaking to Dr. Rob Hicks, who's our resident doctor on this show, and we're going to be talking about hay fever. So for all you hay fever sufferers out there, and I'm kind of one of them, but that hasn't been too bad this year yet. We're going to be getting lots of tips and advice, and also how to tell the difference between hay fever and actually having a cold. And also we're going to be having the lovely Gregoire sisters here with makeup and fashion tips. And of course we have the lovely Excel with the news and hot topics, who's looking very lovely, I have to add. How are you, my love?
I'm very well, thank you, Chrissy. Lovely to be here as always. Beside
I love
you.
that purple flower in your hair. Are you feeling all summery or something? Like you should be in Hawaii.
I think I want to draw. I mean, it was beautiful weather today, so I thought I'd draw it out a bit more of the summer. So.
Do you know, I didn't enjoy any of it today.
No?
I was stuck indoors the whole day.
Oh, well, sorry, love. I did a bit, though. Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it on our behalf.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, my first bit of special news today, I think is something you are going to love.
Okay. Food or animals?
Oh, you nailed it first time. Food.
Oh.
You see, we know you so well. Have you ever had a dream where you sort of felt as though you were eating your pillow?
No. What? No.
Or people sort of say they're eating their dream and then they wake up eating their pillow. You've never had that?
I've never eaten my pillow.
Well, there is a company called Beloved Shirts, and they have introduced a range of food-based cushions, and they look so real that they could probably make you hungry, Chrissy. And I'll begin with one that looks like chicken drumsticks.
Oh, no.
I have a photo here to prove it. And they are very realistic because they use a special process to make the cushions, and it actually looks alarmingly like realistic.
Oh, no, that's
and so it feels like you're sleeping on a chicken drumstick. I mean, I have some photos, and so the first one here, we have one chicken drumstick which you could easily rest your head on.
Is that a pillow?
It is a pillow.
Oh my God, that's gross.
And then we have two drumsticks.
Should I?
We have two drumsticks in case you kind of want like a bit of what's the word? There you go. His and hers maybe.
Oh, God.
Or maybe she fancy two drumsticks before bed rather, I should say. And there is also a pizza pillow. Mm-hmm. There's a pizza pillow. So for the pizza lovers, we have, I mean, you kind of want to almost pick off the pepperoni and
do you know what?
have a bit of a late night snack.
In a restaurant like as cushions, but I don't know, I think it would just spoil a bedroom, sorry.
Well, you never know.
If
you're a foodie, you're a foodie. Burgers.
And when I see something that looks like food, I want to eat it, not
burgers.
Not lay on it.
How about burgers?
Okay.
How about a burger pillow?
Oh wow, that's quite nice, that one.
You see? So maybe not all of them might be to your taste, but you know,
it's neater, isn't it?
You can pick out the lettuce and the tomato, and have a bit of the burger, have a bit of the cheese and all that. And there's a sausage. There's a sausage one as well, and it literally, it's so lifelike and so realistic. There you go. That's complete with the grill marks on it.
That's horrible.
That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And then for those who do not like all the barbecue-y stuff, and for the more sort of delicate palate, we also have a sushi pillow.
No.
Oh yeah. Nice, delicate on your palate, lovely sushi pillow.
That looks nice.
Yeah,
I like
it looks very pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
So I go for the burger and the sushi, but not
you have the burger. Well, there you go. That means it's got to appeal to a range of people. And for the people who are absolutely lazy and can't bother to get out of bed, I think this doubles up as 2-in-1 because there is a sloth pillow. And here we have it. Fabulous. Fabulous.
That actually looks really scary.
You could just sit there and go, yeah.
Imagine waking up and seeing.
Well, exactly. I think that one was the one that was kind of least like. But the food was perfect, So now you really can have that dream that you're eating your pillow. There you go. Fabulous. Fabulous. I had to share that one. Right. From eating your pillow, I discovered a piece of news again recently.
How do you find these news pieces, Excel? I don't know how you do it every time. You know her personality now, don't you?
Well, indeed. There is an Indian man that is hoping to find fame and fortune by showcasing his unusual appetite for, wait for it, eating bricks.
No, oh God, that's horrible. So
he actually apparently suffers from a rare eating disorder, and he says he's addicted to eating only bricks, gravel, and mud.
Can I just say something about that?
I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely fabulous. Look, see, he looks like a.
His poor teeth. Well, I won't say who it is actually, but I have a relative that when she was pregnant, she used to eat clay and mud all the time. It's like I don't know. Maybe Dr. Rob can help us with this, but it's like her body was craving some kind of mineral.
Yeah,
and she just loved
but there is
mud and
there
clay
is edible
and
clay. There is like edible.
No, but she would pick it off
the road,
not the street, a wall or something.
Wow. Oh gosh,
it wasn't like the stuff that you buy. And I have to admit, I have tasted it. I had a friend.
Yeah.
And they buy it in like little packs, like this clay. It was horrible. It was like eating, I don't know.
It's like chalk though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, I think I know that.
Try things.
Yeah, there's edible. It's like chalk. It tastes like chalk in a sense. I think it's sort of some form of limestone.
But it was grey and it was horrible. I don't know how people can eat it. But they buy it like a snack.
But that relative of yours, who shall remain unmentioned, did they kind of bore a hole through?
She was pregnant, the poor thing. She just had craving.
That's a bit of a craving, though. That's a craving and a half. But this man, he suffers from
it was. very
find
close
out.
to me.
I'll be finding out from her later on. Don't you worry. I might reveal it to you later, viewers. He says he only likes eating bricks and mud, nothing else. I will eat it because it is my habit. I need it every day. I cannot stop. My mother asked me not to eat it, but I won't stop. Even if you give me fried chicken, I want mud at any cost. Oh, no. He's 30 years old and he's been eating bricks since he was age 10. He now eats 1 brick per day and 3 kilos of mud and gravel to fulfill his craving.
It is believed
that he suffers from I suppose Dr. Hicks probably shed some more light on this.
Don't even ask me about this one.
Because it is believed that he suffers from a condition known as pica. It is the persistent eating of non-food items with no nutritional value. We find it extremely strange, said one local, and he has ignored his name actually, Pakirapa Hunagundi. I hope I've said that right. I haven't offended, I don't intend to offend our Indian viewers. Mr. Hunagundi has ignored pleas from friends and family to change his diet, and he now plans to travel across India to show off his brick eating skills. God. He says he hasn't suffered any ill effects, so you're just feeling sorry for him for nothing, Chrissy.
Does he eat proper food though?
No.
Nothing? You can't survive.
That's
you
all
can't,
he
it's
eats.
not possible.
Well,
how can someone just eat mud with some stuff with no nutritional value whatsoever and be alive?
You see,
I
can't just say what I just thought of because it probably would be quite gross. But I'm sure there are ways of supplementing his diet with other forms.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Please. We've got a couple of minutes left, so we can.
Okay, well, I will end this section then quickly with a very fun story. Like you mentioned earlier, you love food and animals, so I should tell you about a missing cat that was reunited with its owners. However, it had spent 5 days trapped in a sofa. Oh, I know. Breaks your heart, doesn't it?
How can you get trapped in a sofa?
What happened was, it's a 10-year-old cat called Crockett. And I love that name. And they thought he had disappeared from the family home because the owners, Pauline and Bill Lowe, both 66, they thought that their grey tabby had run away, but he had never run away before. So unknown to them, the curious cat had sneaked into a 4-seater sofa that the couple were donating to charity. So when the workers came along to collect the furniture, took it to St. Luke's Hospice in Grays in Essex, Crockett quietly sat inside the sofa for 4 days on the shop floor, despite being surrounded by volunteers and shoppers. Oh, no. He was only discovered when the new shop owners heard a meowing coming from their furniture. They phoned the shop, who then contacted his owners. They can't believe how he tucked himself inside the sofa during the short time the bottom had been removed, and he remained quiet for so long. He's a lovely cat, and we're delighted to have him back, says Mrs. Lowe. And he appeared not worse for the wear, really, having travelled. I mean, I suppose he travelled in style. First class, soft plush cushion, flat bed. What more would you ask for?
Oh, please. Do you have any more? You've got a minute left.
Yeah, well...
Can you cover one in a minute?
No, I couldn't.
Should we save it for later?
Yeah, let's save it for later.
All right, then. Do you have any hay fever questions? Do you suffer from hay fever?
Actually, yeah, I will have a few questions. I don't, but I do get some irritation during the summertime. I
All
don't
right,
know
so
what
we're
it
going to
would
have lots
be.
of questions
So
for him then.
I have a few questions for Dr.
All
Hicks.
right, we'll
yes.
represent the viewers for you. We'll ask all the kind of questions that maybe they have on their mind. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, so do stay tuned, because after the break, as well as speaking to Dr. Rob Hicks, we're also going to be seeing Jane's fitness tip for the day, so don't go away.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now, before we talk to Dr. Rob Hicks all about hay fever, let's go to the fitness tip with Jane Wrafter.
Hi, I'm Jane. Welcome to our fitness top tips. Today I'm going to talk to you about the stability ball. As you can see, I'm sitting on a great big ball, and these are absolutely fantastic for improving your core strength. There's absolutely loads of things you can do. I struggled to pick 3 things to show you today, and I'm going to quickly show you. You can get these balls, by the way, online. If you just Google stability ball, you'll see that they're about 8 to 10 pounds, something like that, and you want to get a 65 centimetre ball. 55s are quite small, and pump it up and off you go. So I'm doing some sit-ups now. So what I've got to make sure of here is that I'm not giving myself any discomfort in the lower back. If you let your bum sag over the ball like that, it can pull on your lower back a bit. So just lift your pelvis up a little bit and then lift. And bear in mind, guys, when you do a sit-up on the ball, you're not only working the muscles that pull you up, you're working your deep lower tummy muscles, because you're having to work to balance. And those are your stabilizing core muscles. And you really feel it a lot more on a ball than on the floor. Bear in mind that extra vertebra behind the ball makes it more difficult. So roll down the ball to make it more easy, and roll up to make it more difficult. You'll feel that. Honestly, they're so much harder than on the floor. I'm going to show you a couple of other things. If you come over your ball like this, you can actually do a press up in this position, which is easier than on the floor. So I'll just show you. That is really easy. This would be easier still, with lots of weight behind the ball. This is a great way for beginners to start with press ups. When you get stronger, you can come forwards. Now, have a look at this. I've got to lift myself up here in the core to stop myself from collapsing. Really going to lift up, and I can do press ups here in this more difficult position. I can also do this, which is called a tuck. If you want to make it more difficult, you take the ball further away. Now this is really working everything. You can probably tell because my voice is going a bit shaky, but I'm pulling the ball in and really squeezing into the tummy, and I'm having to use my shoulders and my arms as well. This is an excellent exercise to improve your core strength and give you a six-pack. So enjoy your stability ball, have fun with it, and I'll see you next time.
Welcome back, and now we're going to speak to Dr. Rob Hicks about hay fever. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. I'm lucky because I had hay fever as a child and a teenager, and actually when I moved from South Wales to London to go to med school, my hay fever stopped.
Disappeared?
Yeah, so I think, there was obviously in South Wales there was a grass pollen that used to hit me for 3 weeks every year, same time every year.
Gosh.
But it was nice to be able to, as I say, grow out of it.
Now, just in case there are viewers, I don't think there'll be many, but viewers that don't actually know what hay fever is and what the symptoms are, can you just quickly run through it?
Yeah, well, hay fever is an allergy. It's an allergy to pollen. And so with an allergy, the body's immune system mistakenly thinks that pollen is dangerous. So it responds in the same way as the immune system responds to bacteria or to a virus. It tries to fight it. And so,
bless.
Yes,
Protecting us.
and pollen's fine. Pollen actually is harmless. And that's what causes the hay fever allergy. Now, what symptoms do people get? Sneezing, blocked nose, runny nose, itchy eyes, streaming eyes. And some of the lesser known symptoms are sort of scratchy tickle at the back of your throat that makes you want to reach in and give your back of your throat a
or
really
here,
good
the ears, maybe.
ears, yeah,
Yeah.
headache, and tiredness and fatigue actually is a very, very common symptom, not just because the fact that hay fever may keep somebody awake at night because they can't breathe properly or their eyes are itchy, but it just seems to drain the body of energy.
It does, yeah, because a couple of days ago I was feeling really tired and I didn't know why, but then my husband said, oh, maybe it's hay fever and stuff.
It could be, because the grass pollen season is just about to kick in. The tree pollen season is coming to an end now for this year. And what's fascinating, of course, is that, and sad really, because it's exam time for a lot of people. And there was a study done a few years ago that said that, if you've got hay fever and it's not treated correctly, it's not kept under control, you're at risk of dropping a grade in your exams.
Really?
So there's always a bit of discussion about whether exam time should be moved to a different time of the year, because in the UK we've got around about 18 million people who suffer hay fever, and many of those will actually be, students or children, teenagers doing their GCSEs.
You can't concentrate, can you, very well?
No,
when
concentration.
You've got all those symptoms and you're itching.
That's right. You can't. I remember, barely being able to see an examination paper, and I remember my eyes dripping, my nose dripping onto the paper, and having to dry it. And try, it was. I mean, it's a miserable time. Just. I think they couldn't see the answers. They just went, "Oh, tick, give him the mark, bless him."
Oh no. So what can people do about it? Obviously there's the antihistamines and what's the best sort of medication or
well with regards with medicines, the best thing to do is start them a couple of weeks early so that the body actually gets used to them. So and they can they're starting to work within the body. You've got eye drops, you've got nasal sprays, as you say, you've got the antihistamine tablets, which they're all very, very effective. The key thing with any allergy is to try and avoid what's called the allergens. So for hay fever, it's pollen.
You don't go out?
Well, for some people, actually, it does mean that on very high pollen count days, and you can get the count on the weather forecast or on the internet. They might have to stay indoors with the windows closed because they know that if they go outside, they'll immediately get symptoms. Now, the best time to go out actually is the middle of the day, because that's when the pollen is high up in the atmosphere.
All right, so it's not going to affect.
First thing in the morning, the pollen is emerging. Late afternoon, early evening is when it's settling back down again, which is why you find people, they'll go out for a walk in the park in the evening after work, and then a couple of hours later they're streaming and they're sneezing. So
middle of the day.
Yeah, wraparound sunglasses, an excuse to buy a pair of good shades if you want them, but to keep the pollen out of the eyes, and a nasal balm or gel, that you smear around the inside of the nostrils that actually traps the pollen before it can get in and trigger the chemical reaction that sets off the hay fever symptoms.
Now, what's the difference? Because sometimes people might get the symptoms mixed up with just having the common cold.
Well, the symptoms can act remarkably similar, can't they? Because you get stuffy nose, a runny nose, the sneezing, maybe the irritated eyes. What tends to happen, the difference really is that with a cold, the symptoms are usually over within a couple of weeks. But with hay fever, if you're allergic and you don't take treatment, then you're likely to suffer throughout the season. We do see people who have hay fever-like symptoms, but all year round, and these are the people who are allergic to house dust mite and its dung, and that they get the same symptoms as hay fever. But also they're the people who you might work with or be friendly with. Who you say, "Have you got a cold again? You always seem to have a cold. Why don't you try and do something about it?" But actually, it's not a cold that they've got. It's not a virus causing their symptoms. It's an allergy to the dung of the house dust mite, which lives in all our homes. We can't get rid of it, but
I know with myself, for example, at night, sometimes it used to get worse and I wasn't sure, because you want to open the windows because it's hot, but then you're thinking maybe I should keep the windows closed because of the
one of the reasons why people get troubled, later on in the evening, is that when they come in from outdoors, maybe they've been out to see their friends, maybe they've been out shopping, the pollen sticks on clothes and it sticks in the hair. And what do many people do? They walk right through their home. They may go to the kitchen, put the kettle on, then they might go somewhere, the bathroom or their bedroom, to change into their home clothes. Meanwhile, they're just dispersing pollen everywhere. So what we say is, provided you don't have a glass see-through door, the moment you get indoors, close the door, strip off, put your clothes into a plastic bag and take them to the washing machine, and then jump in the shower.
Yeah.
so that you're washing all the pollen off you and you're making
hair
sure,
and everything.
yes. And likewise with pets, we talked about cats earlier, weren't
Yeah.
we? Because of course, the pollen sticks to their fur, so when they come indoors, give them a damp wipe.
Hoover them. Was there anything I forgot to ask you, Rob? Because for some reason I don't have my questions here.
Natural remedies. I mean,
Yeah,
lots of
yeah.
people anecdotally use a spoonful of honey every day as a natural form of immunotherapy. But things like, apples, onions, they've got a compound called quercetin in them, which is anti-inflammatory. And citrus fruits have got vitamin C, and that's felt to be anti-inflammatory as well.
So
an
lots of apples
anti-allergic.
and oranges and stuff like that.
Yeah, all those sorts of things.
Okay. Now, before we go, I'd just like to hear what you have to say about Brick Man that we spoke
yes,
about earlier.
yes.
What do you think?
I would be very surprised if he can survive on just bricks and clay, unless they are made in, shall we say, a more traditional way, using plant materials where he can get his nutrients from. I'd be really concerned about how he can't digest this stuff, and with clay, how he may actually cause an obstruction in his gut.
But do you think it is he's sort of lacking some kind of, well, in my, I nearly said whom the person is, but in the case of my relative's case where she was pregnant, she just wanted to eat clay all the time. Is it because she was needing something?
Sometimes there are mineral deficiencies, but more often than not, the pica, which is what it's called when you're eating non-food substances, is we're not entirely sure what's causing it. But pregnant women get it an awful lot. They want to eat coal. They want to drink shampoo. They want to eat chalk. I mean, they know it's bizarre, but they just get this craving. To do it, so it's probably best to keep those things locked away.
Oh gosh, oh dear. All right, then, so thank you so much for the help and advice,
Pleasure.
Dr. Rob. And we're going to be speaking about some more interesting subjects coming up, aren't we, soon?
We are indeed.
Don't know what they are yet, but we we have
but
a lot to talk about.
They'll be very interesting.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm just going to read to you the question that I have from a viewer that I'm going to be answering a bit later on. And this is from Kim, and she says, "Hi Chrissy, my older brother does not talk to my sister. They really do detest each other. I always try to bring them together, but it always breaks out into an argument. We never have family time anymore. What would you do, Chrissy?" So Kim, I'll be answering your question later on. I'll be telling you what I would do if I were in your situation. And if you as well at home have a question or a dilemma, you'd like to know what I would do if I were in your position, you can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. So after the break, we're going to be having the Gregoire sisters on. We're going to start with Maegan, who's going to be giving us some makeup tips for more mature skin. So do join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the show, and now it's time for Maegan's Makeup Corner. Hello.
Hello, Chrissy.
Lovely to have you back.
It's lovely to be back.
Someone's been on holiday in Spain.
Yes,
you have a nice time?
I did. It was lovely there.
Yeah. Did
Lots
you
of sun.
be careful with your skin?
Yes, that I did. I put on some SPF, which I'll be talking about today. That sun was out and it was hot and it was nice, but when I came back, it was raining, so I was sad again. Typical London.
So you brought someone on with you today.
Yes, I have my lovely model Carrie here today, and we are going to be talking about the adverse effects on the skin that the sun has, as well as becoming mature. Gravity does its thing, and as well,
love gravity.
Yeah. As well as the sun, as well as aging, does have there's spots that will show up or some discoloration. So we're just going to do a bit on products and how to safeguard your skin against those effects. So the first thing that I have is not makeup, but it is H2O. So that I would have to say, if someone asks me, how do I get that refreshing look? I feel, dry, my skin's dry. Definitely drink some water. It sounds simple, but what happens when you're dehydrated? Think of a raisin, right? That what did they used to be a grape?
Prune.
Oh, prune.
Okay. That used to. I don't know. Don't get technical.
Anyways, you know what happens
used
when a fruit dries. Anyways, it gets wrinkled, and basically you can plump it up by drinking some H2O. Or there's also some lovely products out there, just a good moisturizer that you can have your skin soak in before you apply your foundation.
How long are we talking about here? How long should you have the moisturizer on before you start applying makeup?
Well, first on your clean skin, so you've cleansed and you've toned, and you can put the moisturizer on, I'd say about 30 seconds.
Okay.
Because it should sink into the skin. Obviously, if you put too much on and it's sitting on the surface, then you've put too much moisturizer on. But usually your skin will soak it up and you can just continue on. But the purpose of that is to obviously get your skin prepared, smooth, and we do want a little bit of help using a primer, any primer that does help with minimizing and making those fine lines invisible and that palette perfect for your foundation. Now, once we get, they say mature skin is 25 and above, then you want to switch to what they call an anti-aging line of foundation and makeup. And what that has in it are those things that, like I said, the sun has that effect, the bad dieting, that sort of thing, smoking, if you do that, that will, have an adverse effect on your skin's vibrancy because you don't have those nutrients, that natural flush, that moisture, that youthful glow. And so we have here Glow Minerals Anti-Aging Foundation, but also you can see that in anti-aging, they do have the other ingredients. Like sometimes they have caffeine, they'll have things to wake up the skin, and also they'll have a formula that really smooths out those fine lines and makes just a nice, clean skin base for you to go out on the town. Carrie's gonna go out on the town with those.
If she wasn't, she is now that you've told everyone
That's
at
it.
home.
Yeah, and so Carrie had also some questions about how she would get the redness toned down because her skin tends to be red and a bit irritated. And some questions I've been asked are about how to counteract rosacea, that hot, flushed, irritated redness. And, that can be counteracted with, there's calming sprays to hydrate and calm that dry, irritated skin. There's also I used a green primer. Doesn't look very nice, but if you have any really prominent red spots on the face, then you can put that primer even before you put that foundation on. So you can see how this just soaks in there. And I'm not saying that every foundation would be friendly for more mature skin either, right? Because you do want something that sits nicely, that just kind of sinks in like velvet. This is very smooth, I have to say.
Really nice,
yeah, it's just like velvet on skin. It just sinks and evens out that skin as well. And that's essentially what a primer does, is it sinks in to those, lines, and it just makes it smooth and makes it appear more radiant. So that's basically, you can see just how smooth that is. It makes my hands look 10 years younger there. Might use this as a hand cream. But other things that are little tips and tricks are how to get an instant eyebrow lift.
Okay.
So one of the things that I've done on Carrie, it's not plastic surgery. No, it's not.
We don't need to do that.
No, we don't. That's another thing, is you can get microdermabrasions, things to take that dry skin off, to get that new vibrant skin underneath. You don't need, to go the whole 9 yards or to get anything surgically done to improve your skin's look. There's tons of things. The wonders of microdermabrasion, or just a facial, or just a nice scrub to get that dead skin off and that nice, fresh, youthful youthful skin there. So I've just then put that on there, and you can put it actually under the brow as well, and it just lifts and defines. So I was just saying I would leave one to do on set because it just makes such a difference. So you just put a concealer, just defines the eyebrow and just gives that little bit of a lift there. So
Can we get a close up on that? Let's see.
so I'll just put it again. So you just define that, just makes it nice, clean, defined, and it just makes it smooth, and voila.
Those lovely eyes.
Yes, gorgeous. Her eyelashes are just amazing. So one of the things is drink water, always get an SPF. Another little tip is when you're putting on the SPF, a lot of people tend to miss the upper lip. For some reason, it's just not a place that you put that 30 SPF on. And then what happens is you get those little wrinkles there, and then the rest of your face is smoother.
yeah.
So when you're putting on that SPF, do remember to put it on top of the lip there, because that's a common thing as well. So another thing that we had done was chose a kind of multi-dimensional cheek here. And like I said, bad dieting or maybe some unhealthy choices, you wouldn't have that healthy glow as if you've eaten salads and clean meats, or if you're a vegan, just some clean food that would give you that vibrant glow naturally. You can achieve that with just put your normal blusher on. And I wonder if you can see the difference here in the camera as from the one cheek to this one. So you've got your blusher on. So I've chose a cream blusher again, because if the skin tends to be a bit dry, putting on powder is just going to accentuate that. You don't want to put powder on, dry skin. You want to put, some moisture back into the skin, making it youthful, making it glowing. So here is Carrie, and she's got her nice blusher there, her cream blusher there. Now here's a little trick. So this is just a pink kind of light color. It's called Berry Delight, but it's just a little bit pinker than this one that I've chosen. So this is about a kind of brownie, blush. And I'm just popping that on. Go like this. So just the balls, and they're called the apples. So just the apples. So there you go.
That's made a difference, hasn't it?
Such a difference. So that is the key, and you can do that. Obviously, you just want to get it on the apples of the cheek, and if you get it a little bit under, that's not going to look good. So you can just erase anything under there with some more foundation. If you've messed up, because that's another thing, is that some people don't know the areas in which to put the blushers on, and certain areas are very important on the cheek, because there are a lot of things that can be achieved with a three-dimensional cheek. So you can see that, and in addition to that, also, like I always advocate for,
Can you fit it in 30 seconds?
Yes, is the contour. So
you love your contour.
I love the contour. So there's the different colors. So even again, there's another.
Can we turn her around a little bit, just to
another part of the cheek?
turn it so people can see
I've
it.
just put a little bit of contour, which is a 2 shades darker brown, her blush, and then on the apple, a light pink. So light pink, middle blush color, and then a darker. And there you go. She's eaten her veggies.
That's great.
She has drank her water.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kerry, for being our model for today. Thank you. Okay, so Maegan, you're going to stay with us, because you are now going to be the model, because we have your sister coming on, Cynthia, who's going to be giving us some great fashion advice. So do join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
welcome back. Now, before we go to Cynthia with the fashion tips, let me just answer this question from a viewer. This one's from Kim, as we said earlier. She says, my older brother does not talk to my sister. They really do detest each other. I always try to bring them together, but it always breaks out into an argument. We never have family time anymore. What would you do, Chrissy? Now, I know family feuds are never easy, and I'm sure like most of our viewers at home as well have been through things with family members, with siblings. So I know it's not easy. I'm sure they don't detest each other. Maybe they're just going through like a hard time at the moment. They're just having a difference of opinion about something. But honestly, it seems like you've been trying really hard to bring them together. But at the end of the day, the problem is between the two of them, and you can't be, I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't be stressing myself out trying to bring everyone together, because sometimes when we try to help in certain situations, it can even make things worse. If you've tried that already, it's not working, just maybe leave them for a while. What I would do is maybe do something a little bit sneaky, and maybe just talk about the good times, not obviously when they're both there, but maybe to one, you talk about the good times and the funny things that used to happen when they were younger. And you can even put sort of photos of maybe the two of them together as children around the house, you know, little subtle things. That's when they look at those things or when they hear about those things, it's going to make them miss one another. And I think that's sort of the kind of thing you can do for now. And just leave it at that for now, because as I said, there's not much you can do. If sometimes when we try to interfere in like family feuds, it just makes things even worse. But I'm sure they're going to work things out, because to be honest, you know, people can't stay, it's not a nice situation not to be speaking to someone, and it actually hurts, it does hurt the person. So I'm sure they'll be able to work it out a bit later on, I'm sure. Okay, so if you do have a question as well, you can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. And if you'd like to know what I would do in your situation, I'm happy to share that with you. Okay, so now we have the lovely Cynthia with the fashion tips. You've got a lovely rail again, haven't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what do we have here today?
Okay, well, today I am trying to sell your viewers, Chrissy, on the jumpsuit.
Ooh,
yes.
Love it.
The jumpsuit.
And I nearly wore one today. If I'd known, I would have worn my one.
So basically the jumpsuit, it's a one piece. Many women don't have it in their wardrobe, and I'm not quite sure why it gets such a bad rap, because they do come in so many different shapes and sizes that I'll show you, and it's just about knowing what kind of top looks good on you and what kind of bottom looks good on you, and finding the appropriate jumpsuit. So I'm going to start small. We're going to start easy with the classic black, and I'm going to show a couple ways to either dress it up for evening or dress it still up for the daytime kind of thing. Before we go to that though, I'd like to just show you what I mean about jumpsuits coming in all kind of shapes and sizes. We have our two ones here that are classic black, and this one here, this is a beautiful monochrome piece, and you can see here that this one has a bit of a flared leg. So if you're somebody who likes flared pants and you like these type of tops, that would look great on you. It's about knowing.
That's nice,
right?
that is.
Yeah. Okay. And all of the jumpsuits, they seem to have these, oops. Oh, great.
Okay, I'll just shove it over there.
Okay. They have all these elastics, right, around them, so you
Yeah.
can move them up and down as much as you need to. They also come in all different shapes, colors, patterns, and sizes. So we have one here that's quite short. They've got shorts and this kind of like ruffly top there.
Is that your one?
This one is mine, yeah. The wrinkly ones are mine.
I gave it to her as a present.
All right.
Aww.
Yeah, so there's this one too. And these are awesome on a hot day.
Yeah.
Except for the one negative thing I will say is you do have to allow for extra time in the loo.
Yeah, that's
Just
the thing.
sort yourself out.
That is really annoying, actually. I'm trying to go to the toilet and
Look at these ones. It looks like a skirt.
Oh, it's not a skirt?
These are called Harlow pants styles. So look for those little extras with the jumpsuit. Also, when you're accessorizing the jumpsuit, you can go for long dangly earrings or you can go for long necklaces. Of course, you wouldn't want to do both because that could be a little bit much, but you can play around with that kind of look as well. Footwear is another thing that's very versatile with a jumpsuit. So I just have some choices here. Even your Converse, I've seen people pull it off with a Converse shoe and it looks amazing during the day. I have my sister here. Straighten your legs there, yeah. Or just stand. Yeah, thanks. She's got these ballerina flats, and if I could just get you to change into those mules, you can watch how this same outfit sort of transforms from casual to evening. So a little bit of a heel there,
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, right. A mule, that works. You could do a little bit of color. I've also brought a colored mule there. We won't change into that. And you can also do a very high heel like I have on as well. And the higher the heel, generally, the more dressy it is. So let's take these jumpsuits to day looks. I've got some lovely pieces from the boutique that I work at, Questionnaire. I'm always staring at all the pieces on a Sunday, so I just see all the new stuff that's coming out, and I spend many a Sunday
And
looking.
you bring it to the show.
So this is, you just want to put like a simple jacket over top that, and you can see that it transforms the look.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and of course it's all about adding bags and such. So we're going to put this purse, the handbag, maybe get you some
Lovely.
white aviators while I get ready.
I just love the way you put outfits together, Cynthia. Wow,
There we
that
go.
looks fantastic.
Ready for work with the jumpsuit,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So I'm just going to try. I've practiced many times here and see if I can pull this off. But
This one's a bit of a complicated piece, isn't it? It's
it
lovely.
is. It is. This is a very lovely piece. Now, this is a Vivienne Westwood. Now, those of you who are familiar with her clothing know that there are just so many different ways to wear it. So here we go. Look number 1. Okay. Watch this jacket transform. Look number 2. Okay.
Nice.
And we can keep moving it here. And we have look number 3.
I like number 2 the most.
I'm not done yet, though.
Oh, whoa.
How many looks are we getting?
Whoa. Isn't that look number 4? You said there was 3.
This is look number 4.
Oh,
So we're
wow,
getting
that's
quite,
nice.
Actually, yeah, that is
and my personal favorite
quite
though
smart.
is look number 5.
Whoa.
So
That's great.
Wow.
Very
So you're always
versatile
talking
jacket.
actually when you come on, Cynthia, about looking for those extra little features on a garment that you buy.
That's right. That's right. And this one here, like, that was not the same jacket,
Yeah.
right? So that's. Put it with
Do you
the
think people
shades.
would know if you wore it every single day, but in a different thing?
I have to check my wardrobe now, see if I've got anything with some dangly bits that I can just sort of wrap around my head.
What
or
are you
something.
trying? That's not the same jacket.
So, all right, so I'll just get us out of these garments. And so the last part of the segment, I just wanted to sort of show how we could make these evening looks.
We've got 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay, I can do this in 2 minutes. Okay, so what's really hot right now is the kimono, and these just came into our shop today. I'm so excited about them. This one here, Chrissy, is made of vintage scarves.
Wow.
So you can see that the sleeves here are actually made of scarves, and I saw this one today. I looked at it. Can you see that there? It says Christian Dior.
Oh.
So it's not
That's
done by
nice,
Christian
yeah.
Dior, but it is. Megan, I'll just put this on you here.
Should have got the glasses on.
In the future, I'll choose the glasses.
Yoko Ono.
You missed.
Oh, there's that with the dangle. So a
That's
kimono
really nice.
can look very elegant, and you put, like I said, a high heel, and that's for evening look. And I just went with a kind of classic black one as well. Now the kimonos, they go really well with, you can do them with shorts, you can do them with jeans and heels as well.
Oh, that's
But
lovely,
they
that
really
one.
add
I
an
love that one.
elegant
really nice.
look to an outfit, don't they? So
They really
I
do.
recommend the kimono with
Oh, you
the
give me some
jumpsuit as
ideas
well.
now what to do with my jumpsuits.
Excellent.
Definitely.
So I hope I've sold you on the jumpsuit.
You
I think
definitely have.
everyone
I'm going to pull
needs
them
to
out my
try one.
wardrobe now.
and do them up. Awesome. I look
Great.
forward
Thank
to
you so much, ladies, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we have reached the end of today's program. I do hope you've enjoyed and got lots of useful advice from the girls and also from Dr. Rob Hicks. So if you want any information about the show, you can visit the website chrissybshow.tv. And also, if you have a success story that you'd like to share on the show, would like to consider your story, you can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.
Let this one go past. Get yourself ready. He's nice and straight. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. All you've got to do is just stay as you are.
And just put it in front of me.
Down and don't sit down. Okay.
Tell me when, tell me when.
Now it's coming. Have a look.
What do I do, what do I do?
Grab. Stay.